Hello, today for your math lesson, all you need is a pencil and maybe some scrap paper. I'm going to, and I've done this in the past, give you a couple of problems to do, and then you're just going to respond in the email. So I'm going to show you a piece of paper, like a note card that has a problem on it, and you'll just answer it in the email that I have attached. So if you have scrap paper nearby and a pencil, if you don't, you can pause this and you can go get that. First, I want to review, on Monday I gave you an assignment where you had to write how many inches were in a certain number of feet. So I might have said, I started out by giving you a hint based on the lesson that I taught and said that 1 foot equals 12 inches. And then I said, well, what if you had 2 feet or 3 feet or 8 feet? How many inches is that? The very last problem on there, I think it was problem 7, looked like this. It said 1.5 feet equals how many inches? And a lot of us had questions about this. So I wanted to go through it. Some of you did get it, which I was really happy about, but I know this was kind of tricky. I told you I was going to throw one in there that was a little bit harder and to see if you could figure it out. So we had talked about that 1 foot. Remember, the word feet is just plural for foot, so it means the same thing. It just means more than one. So we talked that 1 foot equals 12 inches. And we also said that 2 feet, so if I double that, I would have 24 inches. Now, what if I have 1.5 feet? Now, this is a combination of measurement and fractions. We've talked about fractions. That was the chapter that we did before. And remember, if you have half, that's halfway between 0 and 1. So in this case, I have 1.5. It's not 1. It's not my next whole, which is 2, but it's halfway in between. So you have to think to yourself, now what if I just had 1 foot? So kind of start there. If you had 1 foot, how many inches is that? And I kind of gave some of you a clue when you were trying to figure this out. But remember, we said that 1 foot equals 12 inches. That was a hint that I had already given you. So I'm going to write down, so hang on a second. So we said that 1 foot equals 12 inches. And I'm going to do some abbreviating here. So FT here stands for foot or feet. IN, and you're going to see this a little bit, is short for inches. So in this case, I have 1.5, but if I just had 1, it would be 12 inches. Now, if I had a half of a foot, now we talked about that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So you have to think about, what would a half be? What's half of 12? If I have 12, let's say I have 12 students, and I want to group them, and I want to put them into groups of 2. So I have half on one side, half on the other. What is half of 12? Can you figure that out? I know some of you already did this and you figured it out. But half of 12 would be 6. So it's like I have 1 foot, so I have 12 inches, and then I have another 6. So a half a foot equals 6 inches. I'm going to write that here for you. Okay, now what I have to do is now I have 1.5. So I'm going to add those together. I'm going to add 12 plus 6. Can you figure out what that is? And the answer is going to be 18 inches. So if you got that on the first time, nice job. But I know that a lot of you had a hard time with this, so I just wanted to do some explaining. So what you're going to do today for today's homework is I'm going to give you a couple of different problems that are related to what we've been doing the past 2 days, and they're going to kind of be mixed up. So just to review, I'm going to show you this note card. Just to review, remember 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1 yard equals 3 feet. Remember, if you're having a hard time with this, measurement's a little bit tricky, and you get more and more used to it as we do it more. If you're having a hard time with this, you can go back and watch some of the other YouTube videos that I've done before on these two. So 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1 yard equals 3 feet. Remember, you are multiplying. So if you know how to multiply, which we learned how to do, you're multiplying the number either by 12 or by 3. So if I say, well, 2 feet equals how many inches? You would multiply 12 times 2, the number that I gave you in the beginning. Or if I say, if 1 yard equals 3 feet, and I have 3 yards, you're going to multiply 3, that's the number I gave you, times 3. And that'll give you your answer. So I have just 6 problems here that I'm going to show you on a note card. What I'm going to have you do is just jot it down on scrap paper that I asked you to get before. So if you don't have it, you can go grab it. And then I'm going to have you respond to the email. Now, some of them are going to be halves like we did before. So it might not say 1.5 feet. It might say 2.5 feet. So first you have to figure out, well, how many inches are in 2 feet? How many inches are in 1/2 foot? And then add them together. So use this example to help you, but I did throw in some of those that are going to be kind of similar to this. Okay, so you ready? Number 1 is 8 feet equals how many inches? So remember, I'm going to kind of go through these fast. You can always pause this, and then you can press play once you have the answer. So 8 feet equals how many inches? Use what I gave you here. I'll also have this in the email to help you. What are you multiplying by? That's what you're figuring out to figure out 8 feet equals how many inches. Number 2, 7 yards. So make sure this is big enough for you. 7 yards equals how many feet? Number 3, 2.5 feet equals how many inches? This is similar to the other one we just did in the beginning. 10 yards equals how many feet? 4.5 feet equals how many inches? Again, I know I'm moving fast, but you can always pause this. And then the last one is a bigger number here. 15 yards equals how many feet? So after the link that I have in this email, I'm just going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're just going to answer the problems that I gave you. Thank you.